Nothing is forever except change. Nothing ever exists entirely alone, everything is in relation to everything else. All things appear and disappear because of the concurrence of causes and conditions. Nothing ever exists entirely alone, everything is in relation to everything else. There is no path to happiness, happiness is the path. It is better to travel than to arrive. Doubt everything. Find your own light. Believe nothing, no matter where you read it, or who said it, no matter if I have said it, unless it agrees with your own reason and your own common sense. Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. Do not believe in anything simply because it is spoken and rumored by many. Do not believe in anything simply because it is found written in your religious books. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders. Do not believe in traditions because they have been handed down for many generations. But after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it. Now, don't go by reports, by legends, by traditions, by scripture, by logical conjecture, by inference, by analogies, by agreement through pondering views, by probability, or by the thought, this contemplative is our teacher. When you know for yourselves that these qualities are skillful, these qualities are blameless, these qualities are praised by the wise, these qualities, when adopted and carried out, lead to welfare and to happiness, then you should enter and remain in them. To force oneself to believe and to accept a thing without understanding is political, and not spiritual or intellectual. However many holy words you read, however many you speak, what good will they do you if you do not act upon them? No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. The way is not in the sky, the way is in the heart. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Remembering a wrong is like carrying a burden on the mind. You will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger. There is nothing more dreadful than the habit of doubt. Doubt separates people. It is a poison that disintegrates friendships and breaks up pleasant relations. It is a thorn that irritates and hurts, it is a sword that kills. There are no chains like hate, dwelling on your brother's faults multiplies your own. You are far from the end of your journey. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love, this is the eternal rule. Conquer the angry one by not getting angry, conquer the wicked by goodness, conquer the stingy by generosity, and the liar by speaking the truth. Anger will never disappear so long as thoughts of resentment are cherished in the mind. Friendship is the only cure for hatred, the only guarantee of peace. If you truly loved yourself, you could never hurt another. To become vegetarian is to step towards the stream which leads to nirvana. Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot at least we learned a little, and if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick, and if we got sick, at least we didn't die, so, let us all be thankful. Three things cannot hide for long: the moon, the sun and the truth. Speak the truth, do not become angered, and give when asked, even be it a little. By these three conditions one goes to the presence of the gods. The gift of truth excels all other gifts. There are only two mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way, and not starting. Those who have failed to work toward the truth have missed the purpose of living. What is evil? Killing is evil, lying is evil, slandering is evil, abuse is evil, gossip is evil, envy is evil, hatred is evil, to cling to false doctrine is evil. All these things are evil. And what is the root of evil? Desire is the root of evil, illusion is the root of evil. Your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it. People with opinions just go around bothering one another. A man is not called wise because he talks and talks again, but if he is peaceful, loving and fearless, then he is in truth called wise. Learn this from water: loud splashes the brook, but the ocean's depth are calm. Greater in battle than the man who would conquer 1,000,000 men is he who would conquer just one, himself. Better to conquer yourself than others. When you've trained yourself, living in constant self-control, neither a Deva nor Gandhava, nor a Mara banded with Brahmas, could turn that triumph back into defeat. There isn't enough darkness in all the world to snuff out the light of one little candle. Be a lamp unto yourself. Work out your liberation with diligence. You are the community now. Be a lamp for yourselves. Be your own refuge. Seek for no other. All things must pass. Strive on diligently. Don't give up. If you light a lamp for somebody, it will also brighten your path. It is like a lighted torch whose flame can be distributed to ever so many other torches which people may bring along, and therewith they will cook food and dispel darkness, while the original torch itself remains burning ever the same. It is even so with the bliss of the way. Do not look for a sanctuary in anyone except yourself. Purity or impurity depends on oneself. No one can purify another. If you find no one to support you on the spiritual path, walk alone. There is no companionship with the immature. If a traveler does not meet with one who is his better, or his equal, let him firmly keep to his solitary journey. There is no companionship with a fool. Whatever a monk keeps pursuing with his thinking and pondering, that becomes the inclination of his awareness. Words do not express thoughts very well. Everything immediately becomes a little different, a little distorted, a little foolish. And yet it also pleases me and seems right that what is of value and wisdom of one man seems nonsense to another. Nothing can harm you as much as your own thoughts unguarded. It is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him to evil ways. More than those who hate you, more than all your enemies, an undisciplined mind does greater harm. Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Suffering follows an evil thought as the wheels of a cart follow the oxen that draws it. Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Joy follows a pure thought like a shadow that never leaves. There is nothing so disobedient as an undisciplined mind, and there is nothing so obedient as a disciplined mind. Be vigilant, guard your mind against negative thoughts. If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. With our thoughts we make the world. Meditate. Live purely. Be quiet. Do your work with mastery. Like the moon, come out from behind the clouds. Shine. These things, householder, are welcome, agreeable, pleasant, and hard to obtain in the world. Long life, beauty, happiness, status is welcome, agreeable, pleasant and hard to obtain in the world. Now, I tell you, these things are not to be obtained by reason of prayers or wishes. If they were to be obtained by reason of prayers or wishes, who here would lack them? It's not fitting for the disciple of the noble ones who desires long life to pray for it or to delight in doing so. Instead, the disciple of the noble ones who desires long life should follow the path of practice leading to long life. In so doing, he will attain long life. As rain falls equally on the just and the unjust, do not burden your heart with judgments but rain your kindness equally on all. Set your heart on doing good. Do it over and over again, and you will be filled with joy. A generous heart, kind speech, and a life of service and compassion are the things which renew humanity. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Long is the night to him who is awake, long is a mile to him who is tired, long is life to the foolish who do not know the true law. In the sky, there is no distinction of east and west. People create distinctions out of their own minds and then believe them to be true. Even as a solid rock is unshaken by the wind, so are the wise unshaken by praise or blame. Praise and blame, gain and loss, pleasure and sorrow come and go like the wind. To be happy, rest like a giant tree in the midst of them all. Happiness comes when your work and words are of benefit to others. The greatest prayer is patience. Most problems, if you give them enough time and space, will eventually wear themselves out. May all that have life be delivered from suffering. The one who has conquered himself is a far greater hero than he who has defeated 1,000 times 1,000 men. She who knows life flows, feels no wear or tear, needs no mending or repair. If we fail to look after others when they need help, who will look after us? There is no fire like passion, there is no shark like hatred, there is no snare like folly, there is no torrent like greed. True love is born from understanding. A family is a place where minds come in contact with one another. If these minds love one another, the home will be as beautiful as a flower garden. But if these minds get out of harmony with one another, it is like a storm that plays havoc with the garden. When you like a flower, you just pluck it. But when you love a flower, you water it daily. You throw thorns, falling in my silence they become flowers. If we could see the miracle of a single flower clearly, our whole life would change. How wonderful! How wonderful! All things are perfect, exactly as they are. When you realize how perfect everything is, you will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky. Wear your ego like a loose-fitting garment. What you are is what you have been. What you'll be is what you do now. Look not to the faults of others, nor to their omissions and commissions. But rather look to your own acts, to what you have done and left undone. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. He is able who thinks he is able. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. Those who attempt to conquer hatred by hatred are like warriors who take weapons to overcome others who bear arms. This does not end hatred, but gives it room to grow. But, ancient wisdom has advocated a different timeless strategy to overcome hatred. This eternal wisdom is to meet hatred with non-hatred. The method of trying to conquer hatred through hatred never succeeds in overcoming hatred. But, the method of overcoming hatred through non-hatred is eternally effective. That is why that method is described as eternal wisdom. There has to be evil so that good can prove its purity above it. One moment can change a day, one day can change a life, and one life can change the world. To insist on a spiritual practice that served you in the past is to carry the raft on your back after you have crossed the river. Imagine that every person in the world is enlightened but you. They are all your teachers, each doing just the right things to help you learn perfect patience, perfect wisdom, perfect compassion. Attachment leads to suffering. Life is a river always flowing. Do not hold on to things. Work hard. A man asked Gautama Buddha, "I want happiness." Buddha said, "First remove I, that's ego, then remove want, that's desire. See, now you are left with only happiness." Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are, it solely relies on what you think. Though one should live 100 years without wisdom and control, yet better, indeed, is a single day's life of one who is wise and meditative. Wakefulness is the way to life. The fool sleeps, as if he were already dead. But the master is awake and he lives forever. He watches. He is clear. How happy he is! For he sees that wakefulness is life. How happy he is, following the path of the awakened. With great perseverance, he meditates, seeking freedom and happiness. When you come upon a path that brings benefit and happiness to all, follow this course, as the moon journeys through the stars. I never see what has been done, I only see what remains to be done. The non-doing of any evil, the performance of what's skillful, the cleansing of one's own mind, this is the teaching of the awakened. Through countless births in the cycle of existence, I have run, not finding, although seeking the builder of this house. And again I faced the suffering of new birth. O house builder! Now you are seen. You shall not build a house again for me. All your beams are broken, the ridgepole is shattered. The mind has become freed from conditioning, the end of craving has been reached. The forest is a peculiar organism of unlimited kindness and benevolence that makes no demands for its sustenance and extends generously the products of its life activity. It affords protection to all beings, offering shade even to the axeman who destroys it. In separateness lies the world's greatest misery, in compassion lies the world's true strength. Kindness should become the natural way of life, not the exception. Bahujana Hitaya Bahujana Sukhaya Lokayana Kampeya. For the good of the many, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world, one's actions should be. The tongue like a sharp knife kills without drawing blood. Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world. Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. Be greatly aware of the present. Every morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. As you walk and eat and travel, be where you are. Otherwise you will miss most of your life. The past is already gone, the future is not yet here. There's only one moment for you to live, and that is the present moment. In the end, only three things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you.